Hello and welcome to Tarot Daily. Today we're going to do a review on the Dark Mirror Oracle cards by Laura Sava. I hope I have pronounced that correctly. I bought these after seeing a collective reading done by another reader. I thought they spoke volumes when it came to looking at the different side that comes with Oracle cards. As a general rule, Oracle can be used as something that is uplifting and also something that is very positive. Now, as we all know, within spirituality, there is a certain amount of light and dark that we have to balance out. So what I wanted to aim for by getting this deck was being able to have a look to see how it reads alongside some other cards that I have. Now, generally I would only use this kind of oracle deck for private readings. I'm not the kind of person to come at somebody or out somebody on the basis of shadow work that needs to be done or something that's bothering them. Sometimes secrets can be well hidden, but quickly come to the surface when you are intuitively reading someone's energy. So let's get into this. They're completely sealed. Lo Scarabeo, I believe it looks like the publisher. I bought these online. Completely sealed, original deck. I am very passionate about buying decks, original decks, and not fakes. I would rather only have less decks. Oh, I'm trying to get into this. I would rather have less decks in my collection and them all be genuine than I would have fakes in my collection. Albeit said, I have bought by accident cards and they've never been used. I tried to pass them off to somebody in order to start learning. Now, initially, as I take the cellophane off, I can immediately sense that this is a good quality matte box. Pretty standard with what you get. It says that it was $19.95. Now, I believe that I got these in a sale. I should have got the information, however, I didn't. So, let's just take a look. Laura Sava, Dark Mirror Oracle cards. Some people don't like to look into the dark side. Nice pull on the box, nice and fresh. Ooh. Nothing on the inside. Nice pull string, which is nice. I do need to give them a quick sniff. They are in cellophane. So I was expecting a paper wrap, but that's okay. So the book itself, nice quality little tiny book, pocket size. I do like the artwork. And I'm looking at these as fresh as a daisy, as with yourselves. So let's have a look here. Riccardo Minetti, Laura Sava, creating the Dark Mirror. So this, here we have all the different table of contents showing us that it is coming in various languages. And then we get into some of the bits and pieces. Nice to see that they are including the moonology, the concepts, the moon, grief processing, visual seed, sentence, going dark. Now, I don't believe this is anything to do with necromancy in any way. Okay, simple ways to read, advanced ways to read, very short, the explanations of how to go about it. Questions you don't like the answer. questions which force you to change, questions which make you deal with pain and pressure. Walking the cards. I am a little. It's time to meet the cards and their reflections. Triumph of Lies. The Temple of My Body. Is this me? Obsession. Right, I won't bore you with going into the book for too long. Artificial Heart. Addicted. Naked Before the Stars. And Forgetting Oneself. What we'll do is we'll just have a quick look. Triumph of Lies. I can see why people may find these a little intimidating. Bear with me a moment. I am just unravelling them out of the cellophane. Okay, I am not the biggest fan of a silk finish, like the slide finish. I've got to give them a smell. They just smell very new. They need to sit in my home. They have been here for about a month, but they need to sit in my home unboxed to see. I find them incredibly slippery. Maybe it's just because of what I'm used to, but we will press on. Right. Obsession. Let's have a look at this one. So we're looking at minor detail. So we've got the crescent moons here. And we're obviously looking at a reflection of oneself. Now, what we're not detailing is whether that is the person's hand, or that's the person, or the hand of someone else. White eye would always signify purity for me, in some form. Just have a... Now there's no thorns. I don't believe it's trying to say self-obsession. But let's see what the book says. It's some beautiful artwork. So let's have a look. Now, a lot of people do look at the numbers here, and consequently, they do use them as part of the reading. Now, that is absolutely fine. You'll say something like 3 is significant to you in some way. 2003, March, 3 o'clock, angel number. However, for me, the number simply correlates to the name in the book, the number in the book. Okay, but neither here nor there. That's just me. It's up to everybody else. So let's have a look. Moon phase waxing crescent in the stage of denial. Okay. Let's see. An elven face, the hair entwined with bark and thorns. Now, the reason I looked closely at the card was because I couldn't actually see any thorns. So I assumed there was none. However, the book is stating that it's thorns. Staring at a blank, clear and empty round mirror. Sentence. All things led to one, and then they disappear into one, only until the one remains. Now it is a short We chase comets and mirrors and shadows. Sometimes we actually chase cars or myths. Obsession is a trick of our perception. Many became one. And that one bloats us to take everything else. It feels like it, whatever it is. An idea, a person, an objective. Flavours our life and gives meaning to it, as all the light through a lens. It converges to a single point, and that point goes ablaze under the greatest fire. But in truth, more than enhancing our life, it numbs our attention to the rest, makes us feel more awake by hiding the rest of the world under a cloud of slumber. Obsession is a drug. In small doses it whips, in big doses it kills. If we drown inside an obsession, we should close our eyes. We don't die in the darkness, we just fall asleep. Then we can wake up more naturally. Okay, well, it's a beautiful explanation. I find it a very poetic way of explaining the card itself. However, being a person that generally reads in order to bring happiness rather than sorrow, and believe me, I am prepared in every reading to speak the truth, to be authentic, to 100% be authentic. But I think I would want to have permission to give that kind of message across. It's very poetic, it's very deep, very artistic in a way to me. It comes across as an artistic flair. But anyway, let's get into the next one anyway. I'm just going to pause. Okay, so we're going to... I just needed a brief drink. So we're just going to move forward and have a look at some others. The Temple of My Body, the Temple of Lies, Naked Before the Stars, Bride in a Cage, Fragmentation, we'll go for this one, Alone in the World. Okay. So we've got the half moon there, sitting, obviously a dark-haired lady sitting bare there in quite a lavish setting, but outside. Cloth and rich lavish clothing, perhaps a representation of having it all, but still feel like she's having nothing. I'd like to go further into the types of trees which are representing there. Bare feet also on the ground. A solemn face, perhaps feeling a little used, perhaps. Ruffled bedding. But anyway, we will have a look. Again, it clearly shows number 6. So number 6 will tell me that is what is in, it will be on page 6. But as you will, it is indeed up to yourself if you would like to take the number and use it as part of the reading. Alone in the World, moon face. Oh, it's the 3rd quarter, and it's a stage of acceptance. In solitude I stand, in solitude I may shine. Under the morning light, in a closed and silent court, paved with stones laced by trees, a beautiful woman sits naked on a precious bench. Many blankets or drapes are around her, in colour red and white like discarded wings. I didn't pick up on the winged shape. I made my home a cloister, my heart a chalice for the faintest breeze, and yet I stand alone. In regards to the reading, so you can take from that what you will. That's the impression that I'm getting. Waiting for something to come back. When we parted ways, we promised to each other, I will wait for you, and I will come back. We may have used different words, like it's just for a few months, or a sharper pen, like I don't need you. Still we are waiting. Mind has lost hope, body has lost memory, but our heart is still incomplete. It is shrined into a blessed feeling of longing and desire, innocence and hope. But it is also entombed into a well of solitude and distance. It built walls to stall the passage of time, and the walls kept our everything. The walls kept out everything. Will the prince come, or has the world gone silent while we waited? Waiting is a transition. It has a beginning and it has an end. Waiting is the night, and morning brings the sun of a new day. Yes, I mean, again, very poetic, very beautiful description of what you are meant to be seeing here on the cards, in the cards. I think I'll do one more and see how that goes. Now, I am enjoying reading them. I do think they are lovely, but I do think it's not a deck that you're going to buy and pick up and read. I don't think it's that kind. I think you would, to do them justice, to really give them a chance to shine. And I do believe with most decks, or not specifically all of them, if you feel that you can pick them up and read them in regards to the pictures on the front, then that's fine. For me, I do like to have a look at the actual book itself and see what the illustrator and the creator of the deck is trying to say, because they will have spent a long time on this, and I think as an ode to them at least to read the book. Fated to suffer, the famous red apple, the apple of Eden, if religion is your thing. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs with the red apple. Young Innocent, this is a beautiful young lady. I wouldn't say that's a withered old man or a withered old lady. And let's see what we've got up the top here. I myself find it very important to have a look at what plants are hanging, what plants are in the picture. Again, 25, which for me will correlate to the book itself. This is darker, but there is light shining from here. Temptation of the temptation, or will always be seen with the apple, I believe. The light is coming from the doorway. This reminds me almost, it won't be I forget. Let me just look. I'll just get the book. Bear with me a second. Fated to suffer. 25. The Hermit. That's what I was trying to say. But I've been messing around with other cards all day today. And I'm full of various suits. Fated to suffer. 25. Of course, it's your own analysis. So here we have the moon phase, wax and gibbous. So this stage is representing depression. Okay, it's not liking that. See if we can get this to focus. Feeling confined into a script, forced by other, never really fought, heading toward a destination of pain. Now, as a reader, that is something that I wouldn't necessarily put across so bluntly in a reading. hence why I do feel that these cards are best kept for private readings, and also to be chosen by the sitter. Some people do not want to venture into the darker side of life, so be sure to give a good explanation of the idea between these cards. I predominantly work with tarot, so it wouldn't really come up unless I felt the need regarding certain questions that may be getting asked. Visual seed. In the confines of a foggy forest, a misshaped woman hands a green and red apple to a younger woman with red lips, dressed as a servant. Now, that's very Disney, isn't it? We can all remember that mostly from Sleeping Beauty, isn't it? Taking the apple and Rumpelstiltskin and all the stories. If you know the future, you'll forsake your choices. Only with no fate, life is free to unfold into unknown shores. Okay. So here we go. This is the first time I've seen this book, as I'm recording it as I'm saying it. Once upon a time, we believed in fairy tales. They were the voice of common sense, the educational tool which prepared us to duty, danger and morals. Some things we would never accept if they were told by a single voice. So the world arranges us to hear them with 1,000 voices, 1,000,000 voices. It's about what you can do and what you can't do. What are you worth and what can you aspire to? It's about what you like and what you want, what you hold dear. It creates a script which becomes as strong as all the voices that believe that script combined, so much that you cannot see another path. Are you truly seeing Snow White in the card? Interesting. Very interesting. I wasn't expecting that. Is the story truly the only one that is the image can tell? What if the apple is not poisoned? What if the witch is not evil? Is that the same at what you look in your life? Is it truly what you think it is? Are there not any other options? Is the option of others honestly better than ours? Even if there are many, and we are only one, are you fated to suffer? It is not that there is no suffering in the world. The point is that there is no fate. I found that very interesting. Again, very poetically written. And the question of why you would automatically, in your mind's eye, with myself especially as I read on, was to assume that the card was speaking to me to say that the apple is poisoned, with the story of as with the story of Snow White, and also with the witch with the apple in the hand. So that's why it is important to read the book that comes with a deck of cards like this, because it's more than meets the eye. It doesn't reference the plants that are hanging at all, so I will look a little further into that. But other than that, that is my honest opinion on the decks themselves. On the deck, apologies for my arm. There's sheep outside, barring, which is unusual. So I'll just flick through so you can have a look. Is this me? Gilded regret. Obsession, which is what we did the quick brief Alone in the World. I won't cry for you. Interesting. Envious gluttony. Now, what the 3 cards that we did pick and have a look at has told me is that look beyond what you think you are seeing. Addicted. Because there's more to these cards than what you think. Peaceful among thorns. So what the idea behind them, I believe, fragmentation. is you're seeing the image from what we are traditionally programmed to believe. Bride in a cage. Sacrifice. The child I was meant to be. Revenge. You're not reading it. We should not, as we've learned, Queen of my world, not use the images as we see them. This is a real intuitive deck to dig deeper. Artificial heart, because I can certainly look at all these cards and spring to an instant scenario, and I can picture the situation that the sitter is going through just by looking at the word in the pictures. Parasite, and all of them I'm now thinking, well, actually I need to deconstruct that, because what I'm seeing in the images of the card is not necessarily what the meaning is behind it. The temple of my body, blended to pain, hiding your true self, masquerade, beautiful, black flower fragrance, forgetting oneself, perchance to dream, anger and chains, calling the storm, atonement, today for tomorrow. Okay, thank you for watching. I will be doing the next instalment, which is a different deck, because I've just got some new ones. I'm not going to do my old decks. I may give a demonstration of how I read and use the other decks shortly. But next time we will be doing the Tarot of the Light and Shadow, John Matthews and Andrea Astay. Brand new. I ordered these also because I saw them come up on recommended reads when I bought the Dark Mirror the Dark Mirror Oracle cards. Any questions? Leave some details in the comments. I'm not quite sure how the whole YouTube thing works, but this is my first post, so be kind, be gentle, and have the day you deserve. Much love, blessed be. Bye bye.